Hi again, my name is Leanna McCowan and I'm excited to be doing another video, but this time I actually get to teach you about a communication concept. After studying for the midterm and kind of going through all the concepts we have talked about, I decided that I wanted to do my mini lesson on perception. Before I get to perception, I think it is important to define what reality is. Now, this may seem kind of silly, but perception and reality are very similar in some ways. Reality is what we are exposed to in the world without any filters, just raw facts. Reality sees the world through no lens, no bias, no prejudice, just the way it is, just straight facts. Perception, however, isn't reality. It's taking reality and seeing it through the lens we create. The perception process includes how we select, organize, store, and interpret information. Now, this is a really silly example, but I have this bracelet here. When asked, "What is this?" the clear answer would be a bracelet. That would be the answer if you were thinking realistically. But with perception, the answer will change. If you ask, "What is this?" to some, it might be a really ugly rubber band bracelet that just needs to be thrown away. Or it could be a really cute, thoughtful present from someone. And even though it's kind of childish, you want to wear it. That's a really silly example and not like a huge real world problem, but it's a good example. Another example is a strawberry. When you say, "What is this?" and in reality, it's a strawberry. But with perception, it could be a delicious treat or something really disgusting. It's just how you perceive it, how you look at something through your own lens, through your own opinions. So going back to the process of perception, selecting, organizing, storing, and interpreting, when we select, we choose what goes through the filter. We choose what we want to think about, what we want to perceive. When we organize, we arrange information into patterns to help us stay organized. When we store, we place information in our brain so we can remember it. When we interpret, we take that stored information and make decisions based on what we have received and stored. So, moving on, there are 5 factors that affect perception. And just simply put, they are age, gender, socioeconomic status, health, and culture. So, age, obviously, we're going to see the world very differently as a child, a teenager, an adult, or a senior citizen. And then gender, men and women look at the world very differently. I didn't think this one was that big of a deal, but to me it's the most obvious one now. My fiance looks at the world in a completely different way than I do. I look at the little details and he looks at the big picture. Socioeconomic status. We are going to perceive things differently whether we're rich or we're poor. We'll value things differently. Our health. We think differently when we are healthy and when we are sick. We value things when we're sick that we might not value when we're healthy, and the other way around. Culture. We are going to think whatever culture we grow up in is normal, have a bias for it, and probably be judgmental of other cultures. Because we're so used to it, that's what we perceive as being the right culture. And other cultures will just seem weird to us, when in reality, the culture is just it's someone else's normal, and they probably perceive ours to be also weird. And then the last definition I have to talk about is something called a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's when we expect or believe our future outcomes to be a certain way, and then it ends up that they likely are that way. On my first day of high school, as an example, I was really nervous and was just knew that I was going to be scared and embarrassed the whole day, and I didn't know how to talk to anyone. I was nervous. I couldn't get these thoughts out of my head, so guess what? I brought it upon myself. It was a really terrible, it was a terrible day. I was embarrassed. I was quiet. And if I was just confident in myself, that outcome could have totally changed. If I had a completely different mindset, that self-fulfilling prophecy could have been the opposite. So it was really fun to learn more about perception. I hope you guys get something out of this. Thank you.